Alright, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back to Cole's Farm. It's February 1st, 2018. It's about 3:50 in the afternoon. The WeatherBug app has the temperature at 65 degrees and it feels like 65 with 40% humidity. The pollen's at a 4.2, which is a medium. The sources are cedar, juniper, and elm. And the Accurate weather sensor out here in the bee yard has it at 80 degrees and 10% humidity, mainly because of the afternoon sun probably beating right down on the sensor. Let's see, the last inspection was 3 weeks ago, which was January 12th. For hive number 1, this is its 42nd week, so 10 weeks away from being here for a year. And then what I'm still referring to as hive number 3, even though I combined hive 2, which perished, its stores into hive 3. The bees are still the original, well, for hive number 3. This inspection brings that hive to week 19. So I've already taken off the straps. Let's pop the top. We'll take a look at how much candy is left in the candy boards. They've been out here for over 8 weeks, probably between 8 and 10 weeks. So let's pop the top, see how much candy is left, and then we'll briefly, quickly go through the hive to see how it's looking. All right, finally, kind of what I've been expecting, now that it's warming up and everything, and the queen has started to lay since the winter solstice. There's clearly a lot more bees and up on the candy board in the top of the hive. So each hive started out with 15 pounds of candy. It's hard to judge, but maybe half as much, maybe 7.5 pounds or so remaining. So this hive is looking pretty good. Frame number 1 never really has much going on. This is the outside of the frame of number 2 that faces the outside of the hive. Nice new comb buildup. You can tell because it's nice bright yellow, and a few honey stores, some nectar. Number 3, it's got some nice weight to it. Good looking honey stores, a lot of nice capped honey. So pretty good. Kind of surprising for me, being this is now my second year, ending my first year. Really surprising to see the amount of pollen they were bringing in. So I kind of doubted myself for a little bit, suspecting that this might not be the best area to keep colonies, despite everything you can see in the background, but I'm starting to believe this might actually be a really good location, just based off the amount of pollen they've been bringing in. over the month of January. And this is the outer side of frame number 5, and a lot of spun larvae and a lot of eggs. Yeah. So the queen is still here. I really didn't doubt anything was going to happen to her. So if the camera can pick up on this, let's see if I can do this. A lot of nice baby bees. A lot of spun larvae right here, and eggs right here. Some capped brood throughout, obviously. Oh, my veil just hit the camera. And that's a nice patch of capped brood. So, it's looking pretty good for January. This is frame number 6. I'm really trying to look for the queen now. I mean, look at the brood build up on this. This queen is, she's still laying pretty strong. I mean, look at the brood build up on that. It's hard not to smile when you actually have a good producing queen. And all the spots in between that are bare have eggs and spun larvae. So she's doing good. This is frame 6. This is frame number 7. A lot of stored pollen, some capped brood. It's a nice shot of some bees with pollen in their pollen baskets. This is frame number 8. This has some serious weight to it. A lot of stored honey. Oh wow. A lot of capped honey on this. So they have a lot of food stores. This will easily take them into the spring. smoker. It's frame 9. It's pretty light. It's kind of expected on the outside, but nice new comb and some capped honey. And then frame number 10, kind of as suspected, like usual, or expected, not much going on. So with the outside frames not really having much but developed comb, I plan on replacing them with a 1 or a 1.5 gallon division board feeder. So, you know, I was kind of thinking I'd be losing some productivity because, you know, 2 less frames and everything, but considering the outside frames don't really produce much anyway, I don't feel so bad for wanting to put a division board feeder in there. Alright, well, I had to step off camera for a few minutes because I'd put a few bees in my face, and sure enough, I've been stung on the inside of my elbow, under my armpit, my right shoulder, and one managed to get inside the veil. So I'm going to try and box frame number one up, put it back together, or hive number one, and I think we're going to be done with this one today because without a smoker, this is rather challenging. Alright, so I don't know if this is like a new batch of bees or what the deal is, but they are a lot more aggressive and not happy with me being in there. So I'm going to step off camera again for a few minutes, let this settle down, and be right back. Alright, that wraps it up for hive number one. There are some unhappy campers. Not sure why. See if these few remaining bees that are buzzing me eventually back off. And I'm gonna pause the camera and then we can get into hive number two. Be right back. Alright, I'll tell you what, hive number one, a lot more aggressive than usual. So maybe it's because they haven't been bothered for a while. Maybe it's just this strain of bees, who knows. But I've had to step out of the bee yard probably 4 times. I've been stung on the inside of my elbow, inside of my bicep, on my ribs, ribs over here, shoulder, and the side of my face. And as you can see, they will not give up. So maybe a little extra smoke will go a long ways, who knows. But all I want to do at this point is get inside hive number 3 and see how they're looking. similar to hive number 1. As soon as I see some evidence that the queen is in there and doing well in the form of eggs and larvae, and if they're not as aggressive as hive number 1, I may continue looking, but if things turn out the same, I'll box these things up and call it a day. Sorry for the shaky camera. I was standing on the support. Alright, so let's see how they're looking. Alright, so same thing as hive number 1. Not as many bees, kind of surprising from last time on the candy board, but we'll get in there and see how things are looking. That was frame number 3, just because frame number 1 and 2 are kind of beat up. Oh wow, frame number 4 got some serious weight to it. A lot of nectar, as you can see, some capped honey, some more capped honey on that side. It's pretty heavy. Same thing with 5. It's a lot of stored nectar and capped honey. Same thing with 6. Whole lot of stores in this colony. Not too many bees. Even frame 7, it's got some weight to it. Alright, let's see, without shaking the camera too much. This is frame number 8, and as you can see, some nice capped brood right there in the middle, and then the few open cells have some spun larvae. And let's see if we can, there's some eggs. There's eggs all around here, spun larvae and eggs. So the queen is still doing her thing. And this is frame 8. They have a lot of stores in here for not too many bees, and check it out right here. There's the queen. Not marked. Let's see if we can get her dropping an egg. And it looks like it. Here we go. Right to the right of the hive tool. She's searching around. There's some pollen around the cells she's looking at. Right there. And it looks like she's laying an egg right there. Just did. Alright, so visible signs of the queen and the queen herself. I'm going to box this up and call it a day. Here's all the bees. I found them. Frame number 9. There's a nice section of brood again and some pollen. Nice brood, some pollen. Not too much going on there. Alright everybody, that's Cole's Farm for February 1st. Rather hectic thanks to frame number 1, or hive number 1, being abnormally aggressive. This is the first time in the last year, or well, at least since March, since getting the nuke, that I've been stung multiple times. So let's recap again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6. Maybe there's another one, I don't know. So rather unpleasant, and that has convinced me to probably buy the proper equipment. So either a jacket or a full suit, something better than these coveralls, which clearly can get stung through. And as much as I liked the veil, the square veil or whatever they call this at first, I definitely do not like the fact that the bees can figure out a way to get inside the veil, which results in pretty much instant panic mode. So I'm gonna, press my luck and, kind of box up hive number 1, put the straps on them. I'm definitely gonna relight the smoker and go over there armed. So that concludes it for this week. Both hives are looking good. Hive number 1, I have no doubt early spring they will be booming with bees to the point where I will be splitting them this year. I'll probably just do a walkway split between the the 2 boxes, and whatever box ends up without the queen, they can figure that out, make a queen, and hopefully do well. Hive number 3 spotted the queen herself with some eggs, some nice brood. Not as much as hive 1, but I have no doubt that they will build up as the spring comes by. Everything's looking okay, so I'm a happy camper. I got 2 extra single deeps out here. If you didn't see it on the camera, they're just completely empty. I'm going to be going out of town for a while, so my bee mentor Dave is going to come over and take care of the colonies every 2 weeks or so, and then I asked him to split both of them, simply like I said, just a walkaway split. So this will probably be the last inspection that I perform until late summer. So that's that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for following. Hopefully the subscribers increase over the next few months. Some of the stills I'll be posting on Instagram. If you're not aware of that, it's Cole's Farm, North Carolina, or well, just Cole's Farm NC. Give us a follow. I'll post a few of the stills from some of the inspection frames, and that's it. So this kind of wraps up 2018 for me on the early side of it until I get back late summer, like I said. Thanks again for watching. See ya when I get back.